You know, I know I've told you before that I've been asked many times to appear on all of these royal documentaries, and the reason why I'm not keen on them is that you have no direction of what you say. They can take a glance, a look down, a check of notes and something like that and turn that into a look of disdain or, bottom line is they can just manipulate it in any which way they want. Now, for those people that do appear on those particular films, it's their prerogative. They normally pick up around about £200. They have to make their own way there. It's normally about 6 hours sitting against a green screen with a very young researcher who does very little about the subject matter, but have, culled it together from all sorts of tabloid newspapers, that sort of stuff. When you try and offer some insight, they're not bothered. They just want you to do the bit that they've curated. That's their narrative, And this really was the background of this particular latest failed doco on Channel 4. Now, you would have thought that Channel 4 might have learnt their lesson given the secret millions flop of their dispatches about the British monarchy, which I pointed out, anybody with a computer could find out exactly where the Duchy of Cornwall and the Duchy of Lancaster, where all their money comes from and what they do with their money. It's out there in the public domain. But of course, beleaguered Channel 4, put together, of course, by Alex Mahon, who basically is picking up millions by regurgitating stuff that anybody could find out, well, she has to fill the channel with something. So they came up with this from a Glasgow-based film production company. And what was fascinating about this, the head of that particular company, Nicole, used to work for Dispatches, so clearly doesn't have that much of a regard, should we say, for British history, or indeed the monarchy. Camilla, the wicked stepmother. But how well did it do? As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. Nice to have your company. I like to tell you, sorry, we'll have a quick wave. I like to tell you the background of what goes on in these things because I've no desire. Literally, they can keep you 200 quid. I don't want to sit there being disrespectful when you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of time. But of course, anybody who wants to be on TV, if they're that desperate and they want to be on something that's not going to be seen by many people, good luck to them. If you can pick up the 200 quid after tax, maybe that works quite well. But what's interesting about this is the Camilla wicked stepmother thing was going to be this, terrible thing, Now, let's not forget, at the time of airing, this particular lady of a certain age is recovering from a terrible chest infection. She's just lost one of her beloved dogs and, of course, has had a bit of a rough year in her family. Let's not bother with that, though, Channel 4. Let's just carry on, you know what I'm saying? Moving forward, though, how did this go? Well, not very well. Ratings-wise, it completely bombed. I know I often say this, but just check online. You can find the ratings. It was terrible. It was supposed to be prime time. Everybody's going to tune in. They even took ads out in newspapers, put them in bus shelters. Nobody's interested because it's a one-sided view. And I'm not saying that because I like Camilla. I liked Princess Diana. I'm telling you as I see it, straight down the line. There was nothing new. The people that they had on board were literally either had books to sell or just wanted to be on telly for the 200 quid, maybe supplementing their winter fuel allowance. Who knows? Moving forward, though, has Channel 4 been able to sell this programme? No. And, what about the sponsorship? Well, they managed to eke out a little bit of money from the motor company Ford, but not as much money as they had hoped. This is because they thought that they were going to get a full sponsor wrap around, that sort of stuff. But even they have decided, like so many big advertisers, these things simply don't work. And whether you invest good money into bad or not, doesn't matter what revelations you want to say on camera, none of them actually stuck. In fact, even in the United States of America, which normally takes this type of program on the normal sort of lower grade channels, they're all saying, well, we'll take it, but we're not willing to pay that price. So who's the wicked one now, Channel 4? Neil Shaw in Kensington, London.